Hi, welcome to Littleton Common. I'm Barbara McRae. I'm not wearing sunglasses on the show this month because the surgery I had on my eyes is healing, but it takes a while to get back to normal. The doctor who did the surgery will join me on a future show to talk about the procedure. It can't be April already, but it is, and it's time to start on those garden projects. With the weather we've had this past month, it was tempting to plant flowers. I started to, but restrained myself, remembering that April 15th is the legal day for planting. If you'd like to wait to get your plants and better weather, then on May 12th, the Littleton Country Gardeners are having their plant sale on the Common. They always have a great selection, so go see what is there. And remember, it's the day before Mother's Day, and plants make a great gift for Mom. This month, my guest is Deborah Crane of Creative Voice Works. Some of us find it hard to express ourselves. We can sound too soft or too loud, or sometimes just trip over our words. We'll hear what Deborah has to say later in the show, so stay tuned. And speaking about that, another way you can express yourself is right here on our own Littleton Community Television station. Consider taking our classes on videography, editing, producing, directing, or even hosting your own show. And we can use help with the shows already on the air. Classes will be held on Tuesday, April 17th and Thursday, April 19th. And these are not separate classes. The workshop is for both nights. Not only is it fun and informative, but it's free, and you can't beat that. Need a new hobby or refreshing an old one? Try LCTV, and you won't be sorry you did. Call Mark Rory at 540-2488, or go to the town website and find us under LCTV tab. Like everyone else, the Littleton Council on Aging is having budget issues. The senior broadcaster is sent to all of our seniors here in town and can cost really very high postage charges. Consequently, no newsletters will be mailed to our seniors after June. You can, however, subscribe to the broadcaster for $10 a year. If you wish to do so, send a check for $10 to Littleton Elder and Human Services, 33 Shattuck Street, Littleton. Or you can bring your check to the Council on Aging office. Please add a note stating the check is for the delivery of your newsletter. Now, don't worry, because this does not mean you cannot get a broadcaster, because we will make sure it is available at several spots around town, and also, of course, at the Council on Aging office. If anyone or any businesses would like to help with the postage bill, feel free to contact Janice Nowicki at 540-2470 and let her know. And take a note that you can view the broadcaster online on the Town of Littleton website, and that's www.littletonma.org. And then go to Departments and slide to Council on Aging. If you don't know how to do this or use a computer, then why don't you come in and see Per Yerpe, our computer instructor, and let him show you how. It's important for you to get the news because there are so many activities going on these days. The list has been growing rapidly, and our director, Janice, is hoping you will take advantage of the program she is planning for our senior population. She intends to keep you on your toes, whether you're a junior or a senior citizen. And here's Janice Nowicki with more about programs. Hi, Janice.
Hi everybody, happy April. April 15th to the 21st is National Volunteer Week. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of our volunteers. We couldn't put on all the programs and events that we do without you, so a real big thank you to everyone. Anybody interested in volunteering, please just contact me if you have a skill, an interest, or something that you'd like to share. We're always looking for folks to come on board and help us out. Couple of big thank yous that we have this month. First, I'd like to announce that we received a very generous donation from the Police Association from Local 3204. They donated money that we could purchase a digital camera and supplies to have at the Senior Center so that we can take special pictures throughout the day of things that happened, special events that we have as well. So very big thank you to those folks for that very generous donation. Again, it's the Littleton Police Association, Local 3204. Also, I have a big announcement that I kind of alluded to last month, is that we've received a $10,000 grant from the Community Foundation of North Central Massachusetts and the Greater Lowell Community Foundation. With that money, we've been able to hire a wellness coordinator, and we're looking at developing additional wellness related programs, health related programs, and to expand on some of the things that we have going on. So again, a great big thank you to those two foundations. Again, the Community Foundation of North Central Mass and the Greater Lowell Community Foundation. This is kind of a difficult announcement that we're making, but to just let folks know now that we are no longer going to be mailing out the Littleton broadcaster, senior broadcaster, to everyone. We do not have a financial sponsor for that, so there are going to be subscriptions available for $10 if you'd like to subscribe. Just make out your checks payable to Littleton Elder and Human Services, and please put in that little memo box for the broadcaster. It will be $10. If a sponsor comes forward, we would continue to mail to everybody, but at this point in this time, we do not have a sponsor. April, another busy month. Lots of good things to look forward to. April 4th, we're going to have our springtime cookie swap. We did this in December, and people enjoyed it and thought just in time for Passover and Easter would be a great time for us to do this again. So April 4th at 11 o'clock, come to the Senior Center, bring 3 dozen cookies, bring the recipe, and we'll have maybe a little sampling with a little punch and coffee to go along with that, and then we'll share the cookies to bring home. On April 11th at 11:30, the Lunch Ladies and Gentlemen group, we're going to meet at the Neshoba Tech Cafe, which is at Neshoba Valley Technical High School in Westford. So please call the Senior Center to make your reservations to go over there. On April 12th at 12:45, after our soup and sandwich, we have a special program, The Great Rivers of Europe, that's going to be presented by Bob Stetson. On April 17th, from 1 to 4, we're going to have grandparents and their grandchildren picture day. This is one of the reasons we wanted that digital camera that the Police Association donated for us. We're going to take pictures of grandparents with their grandkids for them to take home and have a special little memento. So it'll be a nice kind of day for you folks. On April 20th, at school vacation week at noon, we're going to do another movie and lunch for grandparents with their grandchildren. We're going to show the movie Rio. So please call and make your reservations for that by the 17th of the month. Again, there's going to be no cost. And we had a full house the last time, so we hope to have a full house again this time. We schedule and plan other events throughout the month, so please check the board outside the elevator, check the board downstairs in the senior diner. And May, just to give you a little heads up on that, is Older Americans Month, with the theme being Never Too Old to Play. And we've got events and programs and neat stuff scheduled for all throughout the month of May. It's going to be a very busy May. So look forward to seeing you at the Senior Center.
You boomers should pay attention to what is happening with our seniors. You may not think so, but some of you will be reading the newsletter for programs here at the Council on Aging. And just in case you're wondering what does go on at the Senior Center here in Littleton, here's just a piece of the list. We have bingo on Fridays, movie days, mahjong, Scrabble, Wii, support groups, healthy me programs, lunches at local restaurants, ladies and men's breakfasts, and that's once a month, stretch and flex, exercise classes, Line dancing, craft classes, knitting groups, and new programs every day, and all of this in just a couple of rooms. No need to stay home. There must be something on our list of interest to you. So you younger or rookie seniors, come in and get your feet wet. Volunteer to help us get the senior center the way you'd like to see it for you or a parent someday. And that's how I started. Now let's hear from Gail Dalton with something of interest from the Senior Diner. Hi, Gail.
Hello, Barbara. We're now into April, and as you all can see, my tanning season has started early this year in March. The weather's been beautiful, and as we all noticed in March, all the flowers are starting to bloom, so hopefully we'll have a more pleasant spring and no rain or anything like that. So in the month of April here in the Littleton Diner, we'll have the Minuteman birthday lunch. Will be on April 11th, so every April baby, please come in, and Minuteman will buy your lunch, and the COA will buy us this great cake, and we all can sing happy birthday to you. The ladies' breakfast will be April 12th on that Thursday. The men's breakfast will be April 18th. Also on April 18th is the Lightning and Water Department Spring Fling lunch at the Russell School, so make sure you get your tickets when they're available. And our volunteer appreciation, you'll be receiving invitations, okay? And that will be here in the multipurpose room at 12:30, okay? So you'll be receiving invitations. So, but everybody, welcome, come on down, have fun. And also on Thursdays, the COA is doing their luncheons. We're doing soup and sandwiches, and it's been a big hit. But, you know, there's other things on the menu that are also really, really good. So don't just pick that Thursday. Look at the menu and come down, because you know, there's other great things on the menu, so I hope to see you guys other than Thursday. Happy spring.
How can you miss, especially on soup and sandwich days? Sharon Corbin, one of our special volunteers, is hosting crafts at the council at 10 a.m. on the first Mondays of each month in room 233. April's project is decorating a spring grapevine wreath. How can you resist when the cost is so low and you can go home with a special craft? Besides, Sharon wants you to come out and play. So call 540-2470 and join the fun. And also, if you knit, there is a group called Loving Stitches that meets every Monday afternoon in room 233. And they're there from 12 to 2 p.m. We have the yarn, and I'm saying plenty of yarn, so come in and help us use it. Jean Johnson can give you more information if you call her at 978-772-3719. The Littleton Senior Citizens Club will meet on Monday, April 9th at 1:30 p.m. at the Senior Diner. Remember, that's April 9th. It's a week earlier, because the Senior Center will be closed on Monday, April 16th for Patriots' Day. And Mary Gosby needs you at this meeting because you need to elect officers and board members for the coming year. The movies at the Senior Center have become so successful, they have added another special day. Grandparents, you can bring grandchildren to the center for lunch and the movie Rio. The cost is $0, free, not a cent, and it can be a special day for you and the young ones. The date is April 20th at noon in room 230, but please call to make a reservation so we will know how many are coming and we can have a little snack. Also, on April 27th, come in to see the movie The War Horse. The cost for this one is $2, but it's a great movie, so don't miss it. Now, I love this one. Grandparents and Grandchildren Photo Op Day. On Tuesday, April 17th, from 1 to 4 p.m., you can bring your grandchildren to the Senior Center and have a professional picture taken of you with your grandchild or your grandchildren. We always get family pictures of our children with their children, I should say, so why not grandparents and grandchildren? Now, how fun is that? And it's free. And you can always give it as a gift to your son or daughter. I really want to do this. So put that date on your calendar and bring the kids in for that special picture. They will love having it to show to their children someday. Now let's leave the Council on Aging for a moment and get ready to go to the 21st Annual Light and Water Department Seniors Luncheon at noon on April 18th. This free luncheon is open to all seniors in Littleton and is held at the Russell Street School. You can pick up your ticket at the Council on Aging office on Shattuck Street or the Light Department office at 39 Air Road, or you can call 540-2470 for reservations. And we want to thank the Light Department and Savostanis for this very special annual luncheon. Listen, get your tickets because they really need to know how many are coming. So come into the office or go to their office, but get your ticket. And some of you might want to attend the 32nd Annual Senior Conference hosted by State Senator Jamie Eldridge. You younger seniors might want to go just to see what workshops and exhibits will be presented at this free luncheon day and see how we can help our Littleton seniors. This conference is held at the Assabet Valley Regional High School in Marlborough on April 19th, and it starts at 9 a.m. Now, I suggest you get there early so you can sign up for the workshop you're interested in because they really fill up fast. Now, with all these free activities, perhaps you might have some extra money left over to spend or invest. Gino Fratelloni spoke with Alan Bell, financial advisor for Edward Jones Investments here in Littleton.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm going to go see Alan Bell. He worked for a financial company by name Edward Jones, and I'm going to ask him a few questions.
Morning, Diane.
Hi, Gino. How are
Nice to see you.
Good to see you. Can I get you some coffee?
Sure, a little bit later.
A little bit later?
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
great.
you so much.
I'll let Alan know you're here.
Thank you.
Hi, Gino.
Hi,
how are you?
doing, Alan?
Good
Nice
to see you.
Yeah, God
Come
bless.
on in.
Thank you so much.
Come on in. Have a seat.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Again, thank you very much for coming in. It's
Well, it's
good
my
to see
pleasure.
you. And
Yeah, my
it's always a
pleasure.
pleasure to see you.
I would just want to ask you a few questions. I wrote something down. It says there are so many financial advisors resources out there. What set Edward Jones apart?
Well, really, the thing is with Edward Jones is it's all about the relationship. And at Jones, we really get to know our customers, and we get to know their families or their businesses or whatever it is we're dealing with. We're really special in addressing the needs of the long-term serious investor that we can work with to develop a platform that works for them, whether it's for their retirement or whether it's education for their children, or if it's saving money on taxes, or it's protecting their assets, or protecting against catastrophic risk, or whatever it is. We're ideally suited to work with individuals, and the fact that we're in over 11,000 offices, close to 12,000 offices across the United States, far more offices than any other company has, we're able to really accomplish three things. We're able to be available, accessible, and accountable. And that's really what people want. They want that kind of a connection to their financial advisor. They don't necessarily want to have to go 2 or 3 or 10 towns over or whatever. They want to have that accessibility, and we really provide that for them. Most of us financial advisors at Edward Jones are also very involved in our communities. I myself am involved in my community here, in my church and lodges and civic appointments and Rotary Club and all those kinds of things. But we're involved in our communities, and that way people get to know us, not just behind the desk, but they get to know us out in the street, working with other people. They get to sense our character, and we also get to sense to know them. So that really sets us apart, I think, from any of the other financial services firms, is that we're accessible, available, and accountable.
How do you know what's best for an individual family regarding financial issue and investment?
That's a great question. The reason that we have a better handle on that really grows out of the relationship. It grows out of folks being comfortable coming in here, talking with me, sharing with me what's going on. I visit people at their homes or their businesses. We have a lot of dialogue. We don't rush into anything for somebody. And when somebody comes in to talk with me, I have no idea what it is that's going to be suitable for them until we talk about it, and I have a better sense of their situation, the dynamics that they're involved in. And then based on the information, the relationship, what I know about them, questions they ask and so forth, I'll have a better understanding of what I might recommend to them. And I usually have at least 2 or 3 different approaches that they might consider. So it gives them more of a chance to be empowered and make good decisions. So my job is really more informing the client so that they can make good decisions. It's not about selling things to them.
That sounds pretty easy, Alan. Why would anyone not want to come and have an introduction, a meeting with you?
That's a great question. The biggest issue for me is people coming through the door. I mean, people are concerned. They're fairly sensitive about their financial situation, whether they're a high net worth client or a low net worth client. There are all kinds of reasons why their finances create some sensitivity for them, some points of concern. And so people can be in a state of paralysis about, gee, am I supposed to do anything, or should I just leave things as they are, or they're afraid. They may have had a bad experience in the past. They may feel ignorant about how the market works and the vehicles available to them. There's all kinds of things that cause people to kind of either procrastinate or to slow down or to avoid or to just kind of get stuck. And so that's the most difficult thing. Once people come in the door and they realize they meet Diane, they have a cup of coffee, they relax and realize that we're here to serve them and we're not in any rush about anything. We're going to take our time and see what makes sense for them. Then that's the hardest part for people. And that's before even talking about any products or any particular instruments of finance or anything. It's just just coming in and just taking a deep breath and relaxing, and then we can kind of begin to take a good look at what their situation is. So that's the biggest issue, is really between the ears, is people hesitating to actually come through the door and check us out and say hello. And
So they feel comfortable when they come to see you then?
yeah, the comfort is the issue, and we do everything we can to try to make people comfortable. And
Well, thank you so much, Alan.
thank you. It's always a pleasure to spend some time with you, and so let me show you out.
Right, thank you.
Gino, thank you very much. It's good to see you.
My pleasure.
Appreciate you coming in.
No, no,
Thank you.
Indian Hill always has great programs. Let's hear about some of them from Evanthea Valakis. Hi, Evanthea.
Thank you, Barbara. Welcome spring with music, and we've certainly got lots of it for you this month over here at Indian Hill, beginning with a chamber concert featuring some of our faculty members. This is Sunday, April 1st at 3:00 p.m. We've got 3 of our faculty, Paul Surapine on clarinet, Martha Warren, a soprano, and pianist Michelle Kelly. They'll be doing a diverse program of works, including music by Schubert and Mozart and Rorem, and this is April 1 at 3 p.m., and tickets are available at indianhillmusic.org or 486-9524. Come on down for that. Also on April 1st, we have our honors piano recital, and that happens at 7:00 p.m. So if you come to the afternoon concert, stay, go have dinner, and then come back at 7 p.m. for a free event featuring some of our piano students doing their honors piano recital. And that's Sunday, April 1 at 7 p.m. here at Indian Hill. The Orchestra of Indian Hill finishes its fabulous season on Saturday, April 14th at 7:30 p.m. over at Littleton High School. And it will be a showcase of works highlighting different sections of the orchestra. And the big piece that night will be Britten's Young Person's Guide to the Orchestra. So that's going to be a great concert. There'll also be music of Copland and Dvorak and Bloch, a piano concerto. And that's Saturday, April 14th at 7:30 p.m. Give us a call for tickets, 486-9524, or online at indianhillmusic.org. Our Popular Box Lunch Faculty Concert Series continues on Thursday, April 19th with 2 shows, one at 11 and one at 1:30 p.m. And a favorite performer, the bassist Justin Meyer, will be there with his friends, and that'll be a swinging program. And again, that's Thursday, April 19th at 11 or 1:30 p.m. If you're a young family, come to our free musical story hour, the Family Pajama Jam, and that is Friday, April 27th at 6:30 p.m. It's an hour-long musical story hour, and the kids can come dressed in their pajamas for that. Chamber music continues over at our Kaleidoscope Gallery series in Groton, and we've got the Grammy Award-winning Parker Quartet coming in on Saturday, April 28th at 8 o'clock p.m. And again, that's at Kaleidoscope Gallery in Groton, 486-9524 for tickets. On Sunday, on April 29th, back here at Indian Hill, we've got a harp recital and fundraiser. So some of our harp students and faculty will come together for a free performance to raise some money to purchase a new harp that the school needs. So that's Sunday, April 29th, 3 p.m., free harp concert here at Indian Hill. And you can register now for summer programs if you're interested in taking lessons or join one of our multi-week programs here at Indian Hill for summer. Give us a call or check us out online, indianhillmusic.org. Hope to see you here this month.
Park and Recreation Department has programs running all year long. And here's Kevin and Connor with news from there.
Thank you, Barbara. Hello, my name's Connor.
And I'm Kevin.
And we're from Littleton Parks and Rec, and we're here to tell you a couple things that are going on with our department for the next couple months. And we got a lot of new and also old but popular classes coming up. Well, to first start out, our brochure's been out for a couple weeks, the spring and summer's brochure. We have a lot of classes. Some of the returning classes, for instance, pottery for beginners and intermediate. We have the boot camp class, a digital camera class, jewelry classes, flat abs with Pilates, Zumba, yoga, and guitar for beginners. And a lot of those are very popular. A lot of people like taking those classes, and they're very fun. Also, we have a lot of new classes that seem very interesting. We have a class, sand cast bird bath. We have direct selling seminars, which helps you with the opportunity to get unbiased information about becoming a consultant. Also, we have a low-risk, tax-free municipality bond class, which helps you learn about municipal bonds and how they work, which is also very interesting. Also, we have the off-highway vehicle training class. This is a class that helps you learn the new laws that require operators under 18 to take an OTTV safety course, which is that class. And that's for ATVs and dirt bikes, things like that. So if you're under 18, you have to take that class. And we're offering the classroom portion starting April 26. Also, we have Red Sox tickets for sale for Friday, August 3rd at 7 p.m. against the Twins, and also Sunday, August 26th against the Royals, and that's a 1:35 game.
All right, we just started offering hospice volunteer training. Club beginning on April 28th. There's going to be an information session on April 13th. We also have several classes geared toward Littleton seniors. We have yoga on Friday mornings. That's at 9 a.m. and it's $30 for 6 weeks. We also have a Zumba Gold on Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. That's $30 for 6 weeks also. And this upcoming summer we have Aqua Size at Long Lake on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That is a 6-week program and it's for $30. We also have kayaking at Long Lake. This is for seniors as well, and it's 3 Tuesdays, that's $30. If you bring your own kayak, you will save $10, so keep that in mind. And we also have middle school early release field trips coming up in April and May. On April 11th, we're going to the Harvard Museum. On May 11th, we're going to Roll on America. And then May 30th, which I'm excited about, is Super Duck Tour, so it should be a lot of fun. We also have a brand new program. This is our first year doing this. It's called Track Teen Recreation Adventure Crew. It's geared towards middle school students. It's going to start July 2nd and it's going to end August 3rd. It's a 5-week program, so you can sign up on individual weeks for 1-week sessions. It's going to be field trips Monday through Thursday, and then on Friday we'll go down to Long Lake and we'll hang out all day and have some fun. We have Long Lake swim lessons this summer. Registration is open currently, and our beach will open May 26th, and that's going to be for weekends only until June 16th. The beach will be open full time. Beach stickers do go on sale on May 1st, so come on May 1st, get your beach sticker. And we have our junior guard program, and that's an 8-week, 1 session. and learn what it takes to be a lifeguard. That's what it's all about. We're going to teach you exactly what you need to be doing, what you need to know. And registration is open for that. We also have Beauty and the Beast on Friday, June 1st. Tickets are still available. And there's going to be bus transportation to and from the show. And that's all we have for this session, and thank you for listening in.
Also, with the parking tickets, they start May 1st, and if you don't get a ticket and you park on Long Lake or Town Road, then you will be ticketed by the police. It's just something they do. They check regularly, so definitely get your tickets. It's worth it. If you have any questions, please call. We're always willing to help. Our number is 978-540-2490, or you can visit our website at littletonrec.com. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you're a caregiver and need some time for errands or doctor's appointments, and you're not sure where to go for help, talk to Tina Mater, our outreach coordinator at the Council on Aging. She can help you find a respite companion for your loved one. The cost for this service is $10 an hour with a 2-hour minimum. This program will help you have some time to go for groceries or maybe have lunch with friends. But call Tina at 540-2472 for more information. And Tina also hosts the Living Alone support group. And this month, it will meet on Thursday, April 26th from 10:30 to 11:30 in room 230. Again, call Tina at 540-2472 to let her know that you're coming. Last month, Fire Chief Steele McCurdy was here with news from the fire department. We are so happy that Chief McCurdy will continue to join us each month with a note of interest for our viewers. This month, I also want to introduce Officer John Janakos, and he's from our police department. Both men are an important part of our community, and I want to welcome them to this show. Let's hear from Chief McCurdy and Officer Janakos.
Thanks, Barbara. This month I wanted to bring to everyone's attention the importance of street numbering. Every year, the Littleton Police and Fire Departments respond to a combined 2,300 emergency calls. Often, one of the biggest challenges facing our emergency services personnel is finding the address of the emergency. Finding the address can be complicated by weather conditions, time of day, or vegetation around your house. Precious time can be lost when your home or business does not have numbers that are clearly visible from the street. In order to help your emergency services personnel get to you in an emergency, I would ask that you please follow some basic guidelines. Have numbers of at least 3 inches in height that can be seen from the street. The best location for numbers on your home is either to the right or the left of the front door, at approximately eye level. When installing numbers on the outside of your home, make sure they stand out against the background. As an example, if you have a tan house, black or dark numbers should be used to make them more visible from a longer distance. Another helpful hint, if you have an outside light, place the numbers under the light in order to illuminate them at night. Turning on outside lights is also a great way to help identify your home if you have an emergency at night. Long driveways present another challenge to fire and police personnel. If your home is on a long driveway or the front of your home cannot be easily seen from the road, numbers should be provided to guide us up the right driveway. These numbers could be on a mailbox, post, or any highly visible place at the end of your driveway. At night, typically reflective numbers will provide clear numbering that can be spotted quickly by emergency responders. I would like to thank all of you for your assistance and cooperation in keeping the citizens of Littleton safe.
My name is Officer John Janakos. I'm the Senior Liaison for the Town of Littleton Police Department. I wanted to take a minute to introduce myself and talk about 2 scams that have been hitting the area. The first one being, they call it the grandparent scam, where you may get a call in the middle of the night, early in the morning, advising you that your grandson or granddaughter has been arrested, requesting money from Western Union. Believe it or not, a lot of people have been fooled by this scam. And what I want to suggest to you is, if this does happen to you, please contact the Littleton Police Department before you send any money, Western Union or anything like that, or any other similar scam. Please check with the local police department, and we will be glad to tell you if this is legitimate or not, and we can even follow up on it for you. But please do not be fooled by these people calling you in the middle of the night. Verify the information, and we will be glad to help you out. The second scam that we just found out about from the FBI sends out a crime bulletin is what they call a spoof scam. And this here is with new technology. A person can call you from a phone number and if you have a caller ID, the phone number that they call from will be shown as a different number. They can have any type of number they want show up there. For example, they might be calling you from out of state, but your caller ID and your phone will say the phone number is the Littleton Police Department or any other government agency, somebody who you're comfortable with. And they're going to claim that they're from the Littleton Police Department or some other agency that you believe, and they're going to try to hit you up for some type of money scam or tell you somebody in your family may have been arrested. Do yourself a favor, please, again, call the Littleton Police Department to verify. Tell them nicely, I'll call you back, and call us and we can verify whether it's true or not what you've heard. But don't be fooled by your caller ID. With the latest technology, any number you see on your caller ID may not necessarily be where the call is actually coming from. So, like I said, call us in the future, and if you need to see me, I'm usually here at the Council on Aging periodically and special events. Thank you again. My name is Officer John Giannakos, Littleton PD.
A reminder, don't forget town meeting is May 7th, and our town elections are on May 12th. We really need to pay attention to what is happening in Littleton and have a voice. Now get ready to clean out that winter closet and start with a whole new wardrobe. The thrift shop is holding its annual winter wear $3 a bag sale starting on April 10th to April 20th. Help us empty the shop so that we can clean it up and start fresh with our summer merchandise. We can't wait, and I've heard neither can our regular customers, so come in early and get the bargains. Our volunteers will be looking for you. Remember, the shop will be closed the week of April 23rd to restock. Now, on a sad note, I do want to mention that our Jenny Thomas, who worked every Friday for many years in the thrift shop, passed away last month. I personally will miss her sweet, sweet face very, very much. Jenny was such a willing volunteer with Santa Claus each December, and if I needed an actress for thrift shop segments, her smile and friendly personality will never be forgotten. Stay with us now for our guest, Deborah Crane. Use your voice. Express yourself. We're going to take a journey into yourself and the untapped potential of your voice with our guest today, Deborah Crane. Deborah is a seasoned and creative voice movement therapist. We exercise our bodies by doing yoga, Zumba, jogging, and many other physical activities. But what can we do to improve our voice? Deborah is here to show us how to exercise our voice. And welcome, Deborah.
Thank you.
What actually is a voice movement therapist?
A voice movement therapist is an expressive arts therapist. So it is not only about voice, it's kind of a combination of a traditional voice lesson combined with a therapy session.
Oh.
So it is a therapeutic activity, but a lot of the activity focuses on development of the voice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, the underlying assumption of voice movement therapy, which I think is very, very true, is that when you expand your ability to express yourself, you also expand yourself.
Mm-hmm. So what made you go into this type of career?
So I grew up the youngest of 3 daughters, and I was very much younger than my 2 sisters. So in my house, I didn't have a voice. I wasn't listened to very often because because I was so much younger.
Right.
And so I kind of developed this fantasy about being able to sing like Julie Andrews, and used to kind of prance around the backyard and sing and imagine that I was on top of that mountain. But in reality, I had a lot of frustration. I wanted to become a singer, but I've had a lot of frustration with it. I took traditional voice lessons 2 or 3 different times with different teachers, and never quite was able to develop the breadth of voice that I kind of intuitively knew I had.
Oh, well, I'm glad you felt you had it at least. So this meant that you just continued and looked for the right place to start.
Right.
And I was looking at your brochure, and you have quite a list.
I do.
And it's connect to your passion.
Absolutely.
Develop leadership qualities, and that comes with expressing yourself, that's for sure.
Yep.
Enhance performances, increase creativity.
Yep.
That's kind of fun. I like doing that.
It is.
Increase self-confidence and assertiveness, and that's something that, you know, teens today, for instance, I think they often can express themselves, sometimes in ways we don't want them to.
That's true.
There still are many out there, and I heard of one recently from a friend that just couldn't, she just can't get it out.
Yes.
You know, she was trying to squelch something that was going on that she heard, and she just couldn't express herself.
Right.
And so I was thinking about that. So how about teens in your program? Do you do that?
I usually do not. I'm sorry to say, work with teens. I like to work with people 18 and over.
Okay.
However, having said that, I have many years' experience. I was a counselor in a high school with teenage girls.
Okay.
And so I absolutely think that almost all of us grow up with something that we're not allowed to express,
right.
Whether it's anger or whether it's unhappiness, or so, you know, every family is different. So even those teenagers that we may think of as being obnoxious and overbearing, they may have something else, a different aspect of what they need to voice, what they need to give forth into the world, that if they were to do that, some of their self-expression might even out a bit.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a good theory. I think we'll listen to that. But you know, I was thinking about senior citizens too. And am I wrong, but I believe as we get older, our voices get lower or
yes.
you know, quieter,
yes.
or not as strong. And can people do something about that? Because
absolutely,
I wonder sometimes if that's why they're afraid to express themselves, and I've seen it.
Right. I think that well, I know that a really important aspect of having a voice is having that voice listened to. And I think that for many senior citizens, the older they get, the less they're listened to, the less they're kind of like me at the other end of the spectrum. Maybe they're talking, maybe they're saying things, but their voice isn't being treated as if it's important.
Right, right.
And so the tendency is to kind of pull yourself in and to be more and more quiet, because who's listening anyway?
Okay.
But there are always things that we can do to bring the voice out.
Right. Well, do you think that because they're doing that, their voice is getting quieter? Because, you know, oftentimes you'll speak to senior citizens, and
yes.
of course the other thing is that maybe it's because I'm not hearing as well anymore. But really, I've been listening to voices, and they seem to get, and I was thinking, weaker.
Yes.
And can you strengthen something like that?
Absolutely. Now, it does take, so the engine of the voice is the breath.
Okay.
So it does require that people have breath.
Okay.
And it may be that as people get older and they're more sedentary, they use less breath.
Okay.
So it would require maybe changing some habits that have developed. I'm, you know, it's not. I can almost always help somebody make a difference in the moment when they're with me in the studio. But then there's the in-between time. Like you can't just expect that one event is going to change the momentum of how things have been going in your life. So there is some effort involved.
I see. Yeah, because I was thinking that not only with that, but also sometimes with an illness, things change and you might have a weaker voice.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and
so as long as the person is capable of some exertion and building up muscles, like kind of going against the entropy, so to speak, then they definitely could benefit from, you know, developing their voice.
Creative voice works, right?
Creative voice work, right.
I was thinking also of candidates, and I'm not talking about even just the presidency. I'm talking about even town candidates or whatever. Sometimes, you know, we have to use active listening because they probably don't say things as clearly as you'd like to hear. And I'm not talking about their you know, platform as much as, okay, I'm listening to you. What are you saying? I can't understand you that well. I'm sure that in your you know, workshop, this is also good for someone like that.
Absolutely. I think that when you connect with the voice is both physical, it's psychological, both. And it's also in the body. Your vocal instrument is in your body. So when you have all of three of those things connected, then I think it's easier to be clear about what you're trying to say. But when especially you're thinking about local candidates and they are not so rehearsed as some of the national candidates, you know, maybe they're a little nervous and they know what they'd like to say, but because their breathing is shallow, because they're nervous or whatever it is that's going on with them, they may not be able to say it as clearly as they would like.
So what would you do?
I would bring them into the studio and I would start with breath. I would look at whether they're breathing deeply. As I said, that's where I always start with people, is with breath. Most of us have grown up with this idea that we should be slender in our belly. And the fact is that when we take a deep breath, our belly wants to expand and needs to expand. And so if you look at somebody and they're only breathing in the upper part of their body as opposed to in the belly, then they're not really centered in themselves. They're not really centered in the power of what it is they are trying to say. So I would have them take a section of text, and we would begin by developing a good breath, and then I would have them take a section of text and we would play with it, with making sure that it is centered on the breath and that they are using the most effective power of their voice that they can.
Yeah, well, I think that, you know, your voice does make an impression.
Absolutely.
You know, on people, and
there's actually research that shows that if someone's voice pleases us, feels good to us, we react very differently than if we're having a bad reaction to the voice. So the words are almost secondary.
Yeah, well then that makes sense when you're, you know, working in a company where you have to give some sort of, you know, program. If you are a candidate for something, if you're a teacher, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have recently, because I'm new in the area and I'm trying to build a business, I've done a lot of networking groups. A lot of networking groups. And there are many people who come to the networking groups and their message may be very powerful, but they're reading it off a piece of paper, they're not looking up at their audience, there's no power behind. They may be passionate about what it is they want to do in their lives, but the voice is not conveying that. It's not kind of carrying their message forward. So even someone who's trying to develop a business, or who is, you know, trying to get new business for a business they already have, the power of the voice is really important.
Probably even going for an interview.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You want to be heard, and you want to express that I'm good at this. I will be good at this.
Yes. Yes.
Well, let's see. Tell us, you know, a little bit more about. I noticed in your brochure that you were, you know, using singing as a tool too, and improving your voice in that sense. I can understand that because, as a matter of fact, I think I told you that when I was operated on for in my throat.
Right.
One way I felt that I would get my voice back was to sing notes.
Yes.
I don't know if it was working or whatever, but here I am.
You have your voice back, for sure.
I do. Good and strong, too.
Yeah. Yes.
So, So tell us about that.
Well, I love to work with people with singing. I am a singer, and I enjoy singing more than I can even say. I emphasize sometimes when I'm speaking with people that I can work with text, because often people have the pre-idea, they're already believing that I won't want to work with them if they don't want to sing, and that's not the case. So I can work with people with text, but singing just brings a whole different dimension to communication. I mean, if we think about right brain, left brain, singing is an activity that incorporates both, because you've got the verbal and you've got the melodic, you've got the feeling. Singing is just, you know, I love it, and it's amazing. But that being said, you can do much of what you need to do to access the power of your voice without singing.
Singing does help in the breathing part.
It absolutely does.
Yeah, because you have to start down here. So,
that's right.
Yeah, so if you do a little bit of that, even if you're, like you say, if you're not a singer, even if you again, learn to breathe.
Absolutely.
Yeah. we all breathing wrong or something here. But so you want to talk about some of the exercises that you do?
Yeah, so I was thinking there was an exercise that I often used to begin with people that I could just kind of explain, and then people maybe can do it while they're listening to the program.
Excellent.
So the first thing to do is to put one hand on your belly, below your belly button, so deep. You want to be able to feel your breath deep into your belly. And I also encourage people to breathe through an open mouth. Many of us who have taken yoga classes or have gone to meditation programs, the emphasis is always breathing through the nose, and there's a really good purpose for that, but it's also really helpful in letting a full breath come in, to let your mouth just gently fall open. It doesn't have to be but just gently open as opposed to closing the mouth. And so with your hand on your belly, just take several deep full breaths and make sure that when you breathe in, the hand goes out. And when you exhale, when the breath is going out of your body, your belly should come in just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot. And then when you inhale, the belly should fill up and go out. And then, so you do that for 3 or 4 times. And then the next thing to do, which gets people into making sound, is to sigh a few times. So very, very gently. It doesn't have to be athletic, or there's no right or wrong way to do it, but just take just a gentle sigh, and that begins to allow our body to relax. And if we're feeling kind of tense about making sound, it begins to take some of the pressure off, you know. And then just to very gently, and you're in the middle of one of these nice lovely sighs, just to find a note, any note you choose to land on, and just extend it into a note. So it goes something like So that begins to give the sensation of how easy it is to make sound in a very centered way without a lot of effort. We often put way more effort into our voice than we need to. If you think about babies, they don't know anything about making voice, and they come into this world and they cry and they make it very clear what they need. You know?
Right.
And so our bodies really know how to do this. And sometimes what's needed is to take our minds out of the way.
Yeah. Just probably be reminded about when you were a baby and you could
You could
express.
That's right.
You could express, that's for sure. What a shame that we forget about that.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So, well, I think this is really interesting. And I, while you were talking, I was thinking of how many times, you know, I'm sure a lot of women do this when they're at home and they're doing housework or something, is the big sigh.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we just never added the note at the end.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so the next time that I'm not getting my way or something, I'll sigh
just
and then I'll
with
let
that
a note out.
And yawning is also really good for your voice. So anytime you're yawning, if you catch yourself in a yawn, you're getting ready to go to bed or getting up in the morning, throwing a note right in the middle of that yawn, that's also a fun and easy thing to do.
Well, that sounds like fun, actually.
It is, absolutely.
So, I understand that we can get a hold of you.
You can get a hold of me. I have a studio here in Littleton in the Mill Building. The studio is called Creating Life Studio.
Okay.
My work is called Creative Voice Work. There are websites both for my studio and for my my work, and they are linked up, so you can go from one to the other. And my email is Deborah, DEBORAH, @creativevoicework.com. All one word. So that's a good way to reach me.
Well, I really appreciate your being here today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Barbara. It was really fun.
It was fun for me too.
Good.
And if you're ready for to speak up and express yourself, you can contact Deborah at www.creativevoicework.com. So express yourself loud and clear. And in the meantime, don't forget to hug a senior.
Unique New York.
How now, brown cow?
How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow?
Someone? Phone. It could be my boss calling me back. That's why I wanted her here earlier.
5, 4, 3, smile, 2, 1.
Thank you, Barbara. This is it.
Just stay right there. Don't move. Don't walk. Don't do anything.
Well, I said one step.
No. 5, 4, 3.
Thank you.
Don't move until the very end.
Yeah.
Stay right planted where you are.
I am, but I haven't moved.
You have. You took a step right before you got. 5, 4, 3.
Thank you, Barbara. I am here to see Alan Bell, and he works for a company named John Edward. And I'm going to go in. Edward Johns.
Jones.
Edward Johns.
Jones.
Edward Johns.
Jones.
That's the way I say it. Edward Jones.
Come on, you're in America now. Jones.
Jones.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it? I got it?
You got it.
Mamma mia.
Thanks, Barbara. This month I wanted to talk to see? Not even through the first sentence. Precious time can be lost when your home or business is not, see? Lost it.
Hello, welcome to Littleton Common. I'm Barbara McRae. It's Mark Carrori's birthday today, and I forgot all about it, even though I claim to be his second mother. What kind of mother forgets her son's birthday?